Someone warned me that writing a romantasy series meant I had to be a part-time author, part-time therapist, and a part-time coffeeholic. Here are the 7 tips that I learned being a first-time romantasy writer. World building takes a lot longer than the actual romance part. Now,
You think, oh, well, that makes sense. Okay.
but listen to my point. It took me 7 months just to outline Faded Flame, which is the photo right here. I had to make sure I had the maps, the laws, every little detail about my story outlined. Now it's up to you if you want to do that. I had a video about that. I'll be leaving it right in the description if you want to look at that. The first book for Faded Flame, the pages was for the outline of every world building was 35 pages. 35 pages, and it took me 7 months. It took me 6 months to actually write the book. From this, it made me realize that fantasy writers aren't just storytellers, they're scientists, they're incredible human beings that have this insane imagination. You have to make sure the romance and the fantasy are aligned, they're balanced. When I was writing this, I was mostly thinking about the romance part, so I put 3 spicy scenes, okay? As I was reading it, I'm like, okay, this is too much. So I took out the spicy scenes and I put more action into the book. Then I gave it to beta readers and they're like, okay, this is imbalanced. You just need something of the romance side, that something small. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I could just add 1 spicy scene, as I did. And up to now, if you look at my reviews, it's a 4-star. And I think as a first-time romantasy writer, that's really well. Number 3, character names have to have more meaning than you think. When I came up with Scarlett's name, I was, at this time, it was during COVID, I was obsessed with Scarlet Witch, okay? Obsessed. And I love Black Widow as well. So when I learned that Black Widow's character's name is Scarlett Johansson, I was like, nope, this is a sign. I'm 100% naming my character Scarlett. Now her last name has a lot of detail into it. So I'm Canadian. I've always wanted to visit Nova Scotia, and I love the name Nova Scotia, but in Latin it means Nova Scotland. So I was like, oh my gosh, Scotland immediately brings Game of Thrones vibes, dragons. And when I looked up a name that meant like fire and dragons and stuff like that, the first thing that popped up was Scora. So my female main character's name is Scarlet Scoria. Now with Kai. With Kai, I was watching a streamer and his name was Kai Sinet. I'll be leaving a photo of him right here. And I thought he was so funny. Like, I don't know what about him, but just his personality was just hilarious. So I was like, no, I'm going to 100% name my male character Kai. But I wanted his full name, like his first name, Malachi, to be spelled different. Now, Malachi is usually spelled Malachi. I didn't like that spelling for some reason. I was like, no, this just doesn't scream Malachi. So I spell it as Malachi. I think personally that fits him 100%. Now his last name is Hendrick. When I looked up the meaning of Hendrick, Hendrick means electrical, lightning, raw power. Now Malachi actually means son of God, okay, or messenger of God, which if you read my series, you would understand why. Now the 4th tip, when you are writing your first draft, just write it, okay? Because it's not going to be the same thing that was in your head. I'm telling you this right here, right now. It is so hard to write down every little scene that you have in your head on paper. You think that you're writing it perfectly fine, but I am telling you right here, right now, as a writer, it's not. So just write everything you see in your head on the paper. Then I recommend you print it out when you finish it, and you will see all the mistakes and you're like, wait, I didn't picture this in my head. The first draft was actually written in first POV. Sometimes I wish I was, rather than alive. Other times I wish I was alive, so someone in cold blood. Blood splattered all over the stone floor. Screams echoed. What I want to say.
Are you okay?
No.
Is that basically you could tell with my first draft, it was written in first POV, and then I switched it to third POV, and the past tense. Tropes, okay? So I know I wanted enemies to lovers, I know I wanted fated mates, and I know I wanted one bed. Now you have to use this as a tool. So yes, there's enemies to lovers, but you also want to make sure that it is written in the way that you want it. It has to be unique and clever with a twist to it. So with me, of course I learned this the hard way. Again, I'm looking at my laptop just so you know. I know I wanted fated mates, enemies to lovers, all that jazz. And what I did was I wanted to make it different. So I already know that Scarlet and Kai have history, okay? They have big time history. And them being enemies already adds so much interest in that. And when Kai finds out that Scarlet and her are fated mates, he does everything he possibly can from that moment to protect her any way possible. Now, the one bed trope. I did use this in my book, but it's just like, she's like, no, you sleep on the floor, but what happens after he slept on the floor? You gotta read the book to find out. Is the sixth tip, okay? The sixth tip is to just write your book, because it's okay if the story evolves and becomes better. You're writing your characters, everything's like that. I did mention have an outline, and the outline is a rough idea. It's okay to change that outline. So basically, the more time you spend with your characters is the more that they will reveal who they are, and you would understand, okay, maybe I should get rid of this part and add something more that Scarlet would say, or something that Kai would do instead of that action. Now, don't fight it, because I know you wrote an outline and that's great and wonderful, but just know that the outlines change. Outlines change, and follow it. Follow the shift, let it happen, because trust me, you would be amazed of how great it would turn out to be. Now the last tip I have is impostor syndrome is real, okay? But so is your voice. You can doubt yourself several times. You can compare yourself to 100 different authors, but you're different as well, okay? You have a unique voice, so let that be told. Don't keep saying my book is not good enough, my book is not good enough. Your book is good enough, okay? It's good enough, and I would love to read your book. Don't keep questioning yourself, saying that it's bad, it's not good, it's not great, because I did this so many times. I can read you the messages I have sending it to my writers. Oh my gosh, this won't sell, this is so annoying, I'm not getting any pre-orders, blah blah blah. I'm not getting any pre-orders, blah blah blah. But I fixed that. So I want you guys to know that every writer starts off in a different place. Every book is different from where it is, as you could tell. Showing up, keep writing the words, and you will see how great everything turns out. Okay? With all that being said, thank you for watching this video, and please stay tuned for the next week's video of a book review of Never Lie.